Are y'all excited to be here for this historic occasion? I'd say so. So many people worked here so hard to get us here today, and this lady behind us kept the faith. You see what it says up the top there? Louisville Free Public Library. No matter what was here, she knew it'd be coming back. So it's great. But it's really a great day here in our city, especially now restoring library services to the long and storied historic Parkland Library. After all the hard work, all the people being ready, all the prayers, all the waiting, it's happening. So we're really thrilled and grateful that Parkland now is going to be joining the other libraries throughout our city that have been constructed, opened, or updated here over these last 12 years, that our administration has really put a premium into our libraries, because number one value for our city, I said when we were going to get what inaugurated, was lifelong learning. Any city that's got stuff going on is a city of lifelong learners. Curious people, entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and to me, libraries are the symbol of that for our city. So it's important that we have a strong library system. We've invested about $50 million in total in libraries now over the last 10 years. Yes, that's good. We've been able to open new libraries in Fairdale and Middletown. We've also built the Southwest Regional, South Central Regional, and the Northeast Regional libraries. And we've renovated and reopened the St. Matthews, Shawnee, Shively, Bon Air, and Iroquois libraries. And also, we will be opening the $8 million in American Rescue Plan funds to renovate and expand the main branch library, which is going to be amazing. $5 million. No, I'm not done. $5 million to open a library branch in Fern Creek. $800,000 to renovate and expand the Portland Library, and another $800,000 in American Rescue Plan funds to renovate and reopen the Parkland Library, all benefited too by the Library Foundation putting their money on top of that. So that's been an awful lot of good work here over this past decade by so many people. So I really want to say thank you to everybody. It's been great. So here we are today in Parkland, Wanda, and the Parkland Library originally opened in 1908. It's one of the 9 libraries constructed with grant funding from industrialist and philanthropist Andrew Carnegie. And what a great gift he left to our entire country. And one of the things I love about what he said was, when people asked him about his wealth, he said, "It's not my wealth. I made this wealth because the people of this country allowed me to make this wealth, and I'm going to give it all back to them." So we need more people like Andrew Carnegie. So we thank him up high for helping us with our library system. This library closed in 1986 due to budget cuts. Now we are writing the next chapter of this wonderful library with a $2.7 million project that includes city, federal, and private funds. Libraries do make a huge difference. You know, my story with library is my grandmother used to take me to the library, and she had a lot of grandkids, but she'd take each one of us alone. And I always treasured that time with her, that alone time in a library, wandering through the books, just picking one out and saying, "What's in this book?" And to me, books were like an adventure. Time would stand still as you read a good book, and it would take you places that you could only imagine. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be part of helping our libraries flourish here in our city. When you think about the usage in libraries, in the past 12 years, 28.4 million visitors have come to our libraries, checked out 40.6 million books, untold number of e-books and movies and everything else, and been able to attend 90,000 free educational classes and programs. That's a lot of high stepping. Parkland's project, which is now a renovation of the original 6,000 square foot standing library and construction of a modern addition, 1,500 square feet on the back, will make it now more accessible to the nearly 5,000 residents of the amazing Parkland neighborhood, and will return it to a full array of library services with books and materials, computers and printing surfaces, meeting rooms, a makerspace, free programming for all ages. And there is no telling the young girls and the young boys that are going to walk through here that'll be our future scientists and doctors and mayors and state representatives, social workers. This will be a source of inspiration for so many. Now, right now, our Louisville Metro Police Department's Professional Standards Unit is housed inside this building. Once construction begins on the renovation, obviously, they will relocate to another facility. We, with the library, have been a cornerstone of this community because this community loves its libraries in so many different ways. So I want to thank a few folks before we get into our speakers. I want to thank our outstanding library employees who have figured out how to keep us up and running during the pandemic. The amazing number of volunteers we have, the donors we have, library lovers. The Library Foundation is incredible. We developed these libraries, and they're good designs. But then the Library Foundation says, we're going to step in and top this off and make them great libraries. So our Library Foundation really stands up time and time again. I see Bill Hollander here. Bill's on the Metro Council. He's retiring at the end of the year. He was on the Library Foundation before he became a Metro Council person. And maybe he'll be on it after he's a Metro Council person. But thank you, Bill Hollander, for all the wonderful work you've done in our city. I want to shout out to Katie Dalinger in my office. She's the chief that oversees the library system and many other duties. I want to thank our taxpayers and elected officials who supported this great growth that we've had in our city and the wonderful things that we've done to lay a foundation of success for the next 100 years. Partners really make a big difference. Lee Birchfield's done a great job leading our library system. You'll be hearing from him in a second. I want to recognize former Councilwoman Jessica Green. She served as a councilwoman for a long time, her mom before her. They always loved this neighborhood, and they were always saying, how can we get the Parkland Library going again? So I appreciate them very much. Incoming Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins. I call her the mayor of Parkland. She'll be doing a great job for us as well. I want to thank Frank Harshaw, who he and his team have been really important in terms of revitalizing Parkland and always saying, okay, here's another project, here's another project. And I say, well, we can do them together. And they show up with time, talent, and treasure. So I appreciate that, Frank. And Judy Lipman. Where's Judy? Judy, stand up so we can give you a round of applause. Judy Lipman. I don't know if she ever thought we were going to have this day. And I kept saying, Judy, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And we're here. So thank you. All right, she's putting another challenge out once again. All right, it'll happen. It'll happen. So look forward to seeing you then, or at least I know you'll be there. And I see former State Representative Reggie Meeks with us as well. So, Reg, thank you for all your great service over the years. God bless you. Okay, let's get into a little bit more of the details right now. So here to tell you more about this library and the Louisville Free Public Library System is our great director. Please welcome Lee Birchfield.
Good morning. I'm just incredibly happy to be here with you all today. I hope before I start my remarks, I hope you won't mind. I'm going to recite a poem from one of my favorite writers, Emily Dickinson. But I've got great news for you. It's only 2 lines, and it's germane to the message that I want to deliver to you today. Emily Dickinson wrote, "Faith is a fine invention when gentlemen can see, but microscopes are prudent in an emergency. Sometimes we find it hard to believe that something is really real. And I have experienced that firsthand. I have watched and witnessed and observed that firsthand over the last 3 years as I have watched stakeholders who had a great interest, a profound interest in seeing this library reopened, fighting and working tirelessly to make sure that we showed up here today. And there were moments when you could tell they needed a microscope. They weren't quite sure they believed. So I'm here today to tell you, we're here. Here is something visible. You don't need a microscope to see this. We're going to dig some dirt up here. It's time to start believing. This is a visible, official beginning to our reopening of the Parkland Library. And this library is going to be of such great value to this neighborhood, this community, as all of our libraries across the county are. But there are a couple of challenges that we face in this community and in every other community where we have libraries, and that is people don't understand the value that libraries bring to their community. In general sense, they do, but on a real personal level, people don't really understand the full value of what a library brings to them. And we hear this from people when they say things like, well, I don't go to the library anymore. I have Google now. The other thing that we hear from people is that they don't go to the library because all the library really has is books. So first, I want to talk to you about what this library is going to have when it opens. It's going to have books, but it's also going to have music on CDs, music from all over the world, including local artists. It's going to have movies on DVD. It's going to have computers that people can come in and use, because there is a lot of information on the internet, but you have to have the internet in order to be able to get that information. So having public computers that people can come in and use, helping bridge the digital divide in the interim while we work to make sure everyone has internet access at home, is one of our core missions here at the library. Along with the computers goes printing, because there are many, many things which, in order to do today, you still have to print something out on paper. So we make sure that we give people access not just to the technology, but to the other means that they need in order to communicate and participate fully in society. So there'll be access to printing, there will be access to faxing, to copying. We'll also have a large community meeting room downstairs so that this building can become a hub, a gathering place for this community. It's been demonstrated that libraries are community anchors that provide resilience and make a community stronger and make its citizens healthier. So we're really looking forward to having a large meeting room here so that the community can gather. But there will be more than that. There will be a makerspace, and we're still in the design phase. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but the makerspace is still a blank slate. We can make it whatever the community wants it to be, and it doesn't have to stay the same thing forever. It can change. We have a makerspace at our South Central Regional Library. Sometimes it's a sewing classroom where people can learn to sew. Sometimes it's a makerspace where people can use wood cutters or laser cutters or 3D printers. There's a space where an artist in residence comes in and interacts with people and teaches them about art. So there will be a space that will be an innovation space that we can evolve over time to make it what this community wants to have. There'll be a dedicated space for teens. I was just reading a story in the paper a couple of days ago about how there just isn't enough programming for teens in our community. And the community recognizes that problem. This library will be part of the solution to that. And there'll be a beautiful children's room with a story area, because there is no work that our public library system does that is more important than the work that we do helping children be ready to start school, to be ready to read when they start school, and to help parents develop the skills that they need so that whoever that child's parent or caregiver is knows how to help that child succeed. And our staff are so talented and so dedicated, and we will be so ready to greet the community and help make sure that Parkland is a community of readers, because there's no better indicator of future success than learning to read early and reading on grade level. So I'm very excited to reopen this library. So what's next? Well, we are in the design phase. We have some conceptual drawings. Those drawings have been sent to a construction manager so that we can get some budget numbers attached to them, so that we can make sure that we are within budget And if we're not within budget, then we'll scale that down. Oh, no, wait, that's not what will happen. If we're not within budget, we will turn to the community and the Library Foundation and make sure that we come up with enough money to build the library the community needs, not just the library that we can afford. Once we have some numbers on those drawings, we are definitely intent on coming to the community and talking to people and showing you what we're planning to do and hearing from you what you want to see at this, because it is your library. So look forward to hearing some announcements about that. After that, I'm going to need your help with two things. While we are constructing this library, I would like to ask you to help us as a library system and as a city to dispel that myth, or those two myths about the library. Not everything is available on the internet. Not everything that is available on the internet is free, and not everything that is available on the internet is accurate. And we need people to understand that to a far greater extent than they do now. The second thing that I need your help with, and I will again direct your attention to Judy Lipman in the second row in the green shirt over here, as well as most of the people, I guess everyone who has a green t-shirt on as well. We need your help populating the Friends of the Parkland Library with energized residents who want to help this library thrive. Friends are an incredible asset to any library in our system. And I've seen the energy that the Friends of the Parkland Library have, but there are only a handful of them because it's hard to recruit people to be the friends of a library that is closed, right? So we're going to build this library. I need you all to help Judy and the rest of the Friends of the Parkland Library build the Parkland Library. So let's hear it for the Friends of the Parkland Library. I mean, there's a lot to be said for people who have the wherewithal to exist as a group for an entity that is not open. That takes a lot of courage and faith and resilience, and I really appreciate them. So I'm going to close echoing some of the comments that Mayor Fisher made earlier. There are some people that I have incredible gratitude toward, and I want to recognize them. One person that Mayor Fisher overlooked, I want to thank Mayor Fisher. For 12 years as mayor of Louisville, he has gone out into the community and told people about the importance of lifelong learning. And he has talked about how important libraries are in a city to having the resources that people need to support them in their lifelong learning. He's also demonstrated through particularly the capital projects that we've seen in this community, his support for libraries. So I really appreciate that. I also want to thank Katie Dalinger. She couldn't be here today. She's my boss, for those of you who don't know. And Katie has been a great support for me over the last 3 years as director of the library. Former Councilwoman Jessica Green, Councilwoman Angela Bowens, who is here. I was like, where is she? Oh, yeah, she's over there. Also, incoming Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins, I look forward to working with as we develop the plans for this library and get it built and open. Metro Council and Councilman Bill Hollander, the funding that was provided, both capital funding out of the Metro government budget, but then also the ARP funding is really a huge part of the reason why we're able to be here today. So I thank the ARP team and the Louisville Accelerator team. Chandra Gordon, Executive Director of the Library Foundation, you'll hear from in a moment. Chandra and the Library Foundation Board, Bill Dunbar is the current chair of the foundation. Oh, there's Bill, is the current chair of the foundation board, and our library system could not be the library system it is without the support of the Library Foundation year after year. So I'm eternally grateful to them. And then two just regular people that I just have to say thank you to, Judy Lipman and Frank Harshaw, who, they even believed in the Parkland Library at a time when I'm not sure I believed that it would ever reopen. And so they're really not two people who we owe more to for being here today than Judy and Frank. So thank you both very much. Judy's resolve and Frank's wisdom have been of inestimable value to me, so thank you both. With that, I'm just going to close with one last few words for you, and that is, believe it, Parkland. This library is going to reopen. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, Lee. Next up, I want to just say, as an incredible citizen, when Councilwoman Green stepped down to become a judge, the community needed somebody to step up and say, I'll take that seat, and I'm not going to complicate it by saying I'll now run when it's open. So it takes a special person that really puts city above self to do that. And that's our Councilwoman Angela Bowens here that represents District 1, who's done a great job with the council and an even better job as a citizen. So please welcome our Councilwoman.
Okay, the knees don't like me. Hi. I know the excitement. Everyone asks, why is the library so excited? But if you're that kid who cannot travel the world, you can come into the library and travel the world. You can open doors that you have never seen before. You can read books that you may never see in school. And then you also get to experience the technology. As my term, I came in with Jessica Green, one thing she stressed to me is, get the Parkland Library. So that was very close to her heart. And we understood that, how important it is to the community. And I also understand that Tammy will also carry the same torch as she comes in. And I'd like to thank everyone who took a part. And Judy, thank you, because as soon as I came in, Judy was at my desk. Yes, with the fair. Yes, I really thank you. I know there are so many people that have taken part in this, and I do not know all the puzzle, but I would like to say thank you, because it does take a village. And as a community, we don't just stop after this groundbreaking. We continue to be part of this library and do whatever we need to keep it in our community. And I say thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman, and thanks to the entire council. Obviously, we don't get anything done without them. And now, so you've been hearing a lot about the Library Foundation and how important they've been to all of our library expansion and growth and opening as well. And they're more than capable, extraordinarily capable. Executive Director Chandra Gordon is so much behind just keeping this incredible board going here in our community. Chandra, come on up.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today, because while it seems like we're investing in a building, that's not really what we're doing. We're investing in the people of Parkland, the people who will walk through these doors and seek access to their best lives. Parkland residents and supporters have understood this for a long, long time. And that's why they've worked so hard to make this happen. Their resilience is why we're standing here today. This neighborhood wants their library back, and they've done the work to get us to this moment. The Library Foundation is both humbled and honored to work in partnership with our community to realize this vision. And please understand, there's much work still to do. To ensure that this library can be the best it can be, the Library Foundation is raising the private dollars that will enhance these public investments. The dollars that are going to be sure to bring in all those wonderful things that Lee was just talking about. The books, the computers, and again, that access to the information that provides everyone the opportunity to have their best life. But we can't stop there. Breaking ground today is just the start. We need the citizens of Parkland and across the Louisville community to continue to join together, and through private philanthropy and public advocacy, ensure that this library continues and that these doors never, ever close again. And so what does that mean? How do we do that? And so I'm going to echo a little bit more and go a little bit more in depth to what Lee said. Some of you have heard this before. I'm going to tell you 3 things to do. I want you to participate in this library. When the doors open, you bring your friends, you bring your children, you bring your family here, and you show them how special this library is and what it means to this community. And then I want you to advocate on behalf of this library. I want you to find somebody with a bright green shirt on today, and you talk to them about what that means. And I'm going to say this on behalf of Judy because I know this is what she's thinking. Judy is taking great care with this library, and her care was for the friends in the community that wanted to see this library happen. And I know that she wants us to recognize that community, and I'm looking at a lot of them right here that were showing up at every meeting for the friends. So, friends, raise your hands. I mean, you put a lot of work in. Come on, raise your hands. Get some credit. Get some credit. You guys have worked so hard. You made this happen. Thank you. So find these folks. You ask them how to become a friend of the library. And then, of course, we are starting a capital campaign. So I will suggest that maybe you visit the Library Foundation's website and find out how you can participate in that as well. This is a great day. We are so excited. Thank you all for being here. And thank you to this community for ensuring that they are opening the doors on possibility for Parkland.
Thank you, Chandra. Senator Gerald Neal has been a longtime supporter of the library system, obviously a longtime supporter of our city, and particularly the West End. He's not able to be with us here today, but you know he wants to be present. So I'd like to introduce Ron Jones, the legislative aide for District 33, to speak on behalf of Senator Neal. Mr. Jones.
Wow. Wow. And I say that is because Senator Neal couldn't be here, and he was very excited about this. In fact, he was so excited about it that he showed up 2 days early. And so, but me being able to come back to this place, you all, Parkland was an area that I grew up in. Anybody remember the name Marsha Banks? Mr. Lawrence Montgomery, the Thomases, Charlene Dukes Branham used to take piano on Catawba Street. All of them are part of this occasion. As we look, there's a statement that says knowledge is power. And a lot of times, and I come from our education, JCPS, a lot of times in education, we've dropped the ball. But this place right here gives the community a chance to pick it up. And you all, we can do what our education systems, for some of us, have not done, and we can make it happen. So y'all ought to give yourselves a hand. So we're grateful for the opportunity, and I'm just presenting a Senate certificate on behalf of the Senate of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. To all whom these presents shall come greetings. Know ye that the Parkland Library, West Louisville, Kentucky. And when I say West Louisville, I say West Louisville as the best Louisville, okay? West Louisville, Kentucky is recognized and honored upon this wonderful occasion of the groundbreaking ceremony for this new community library, a happy occasion which marks the beginning of a substantial renovation and expansion project which will include a renovation of the original 6,000 square feet historic Carnegie built library and a 4,500 square foot addition. Once completed, Parkland Library will be fully accessible and will feature an expanded collection of books and materials, more computers, separate children and teen areas. Awesome. Listen, you all, this is going to be our hub. We get a chance to educate, elevate, and we're so grateful for this. On behalf of Senator Gerald Neal and the Honorable Senate of Kentucky, we say congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Now, there's one other famous Parkland resident who wasn't known for his academic prowess, but he was known for his kindness and compassion. And he, of course, was born at 3302 Grand Avenue, and that was the then Cassius Clay. So I imagine he worked his way into this building once or twice as well. So just another one of our long, great citizens that has helped define who our city is. And speaking of that, that's another one of our citizens here that we have to speak on that, who's helped define Louisville and West Louisville. So now let's hear from State Representative Attica Scott.
Thank you so much, Mayor Fisher. I am not only a state representative, but I am a proud Parkland resident, and I go hard for Parkland. That's right. And whenever these kinds of gatherings happen in West Louisville, I'm always doing my neighborhood check to make sure that my folks are represented. And I see some Parkland residents here. I see some Park Duval residents here. In fact, I think I see somebody from almost every West Louisville resident in our neighborhoods. So for those of you who live in the West End of Louisville, let's give it up for you. Thank you so much for being here. So this is important because I've come here with, and I see a friend in the audience who I came here with to file a complaint against the police. I filed my own complaint against the police. And so it matters that this is going back to what it was supposed to be, a place for knowledge, for education, for community. That makes a difference for the people in this neighborhood, for our young folks. And I was talking to Pam just a few minutes ago and Representative Meeks, because we would come here rushing after Frankfurt to get to the neighborhood meetings. Judy, you remember early on, we were at the church meeting and we kept hearing from the powers that be, not now, not yet. Well, I want Parkland to know right now, this is the time. You are getting your library back because you fought for it. And the library is going to complement so much of the good work that's happening, from the community garden that we all built together more than a decade ago, to the housing redevelopment that people like Ambassador Shabazz is organizing right now, to, of course, we've got Dare to Care, we've got the U of L Medical Center, we've got the Braden Institute and the Kentucky Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. We have so much good in Parkland, and we are so grateful that the library is coming back to this space. Thank you all for being part of it. I have a citation, but as I say, when it's sunny and hot like this, you can read that citation when it's posted online. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much for that, Representative Scott. Okay, just in closing here, I see a couple of folks with Metro government that have really been impactful in making this happen over the years. Some are not with us anymore, but I see Mary Ellen Wiederwall here, who used to run Louisville Forward. Rebecca Flyshaker back there ran Louisville Forward as well. Michael Meeks is here, our Chief of Equity for the city, and Wanda Mitchell-Smith, who runs our intergovernmental affairs. So thank you all so much for the good work that you do on behalf of the citizens of Louisville. So finally, I just want to thank everybody for never giving up on this library and bringing it back. And you got to be ready, right? Some people complain all the time and do this and that, but this group of folks got ready, and then when the American Rescue Plan dollars came along, it was really obvious, and Bill Hollander will tell you that because he ran that effort. At the top of the list was getting this library back open. And that happened because so many people in this community, to your point, Representative Scott, just kept saying, we got to do this, we got to do this. We knew we needed to do it. And so when that money came along, it went to the front of the line. So this is a wonderful, wonderful day for our city. Thanks, everybody, very, very much. And we look forward to seeing you when we open these doors again. So now we're going to throw a little dirt with a groundbreaking here and kick this ceremony off. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
And then we throw it on 3, 2, 1.
Not too far.
All right.